Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review on a bloody hot night. It's like 86 degrees in here, and tonight I'm reviewing a beer that was brought for me by a mate of mine, KALNAPILIS Grand Select. I presume it's a Polish beer. But I can't seem to bring it up. But first things first, let's get it poured out, because that's Thursday, I'm hot, and I'm ready for a beer. And this is the weather for cold lagers. So I've even done the thing, and I've got ice cubes, because I need cold. So, and obviously, most of my beers are actually room temperature, and at 30 degrees it is not good room temperature. By rights I ought to put some in the fridge. I mean in the winter months it's not a problem, because obviously it's Baltic in here, and I presume in the winter months I'm going to have to start thinking about taking some in the house, so they don't blow. There's the thing. So just letting this go up a bit. So, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know I had a slight issue with rats last year. And if you didn't, well, we'd heard some scratching at 1 in the morning. My wife says to me, tell me I'm not imagining this. So I went and listened, and you could hear this scratching. I thought, oh fucking hell, what the hell's that? A week or so went on. I went underneath the stairs, and a mop had been chewed in half. Straight away I knew we'd got issues then. So I put rat poison down. I got some of that foam that you spray in that it expands. Did that, and then one night you could hear the rats ripping the foam to bits. Anyway, they got in the house. Trapped one, killed the little bastard. Killed another 2 in the next few nights. I went round, put steel gauze all the way around the house, but it freaked me. It really freaked me. And then with issues at work at the same time, I was in a very, very bad place. We got rid of it, nothing for a few months. Then all of a sudden, we're seeing something tried to get in through the side grate around where I'd concreted it. So, and this was at the start of lockdown, so we filled that up, put rat poison down, put 7 rat traps down. They were taking the poison, and it's been a bit of a thing here and there. So anyway, I'm in the greenhouse, and next minute I heard this thing jump at the side of me. Fucking hell's that? This is only a few minutes ago, and it was a massive frog, and the little bugger was jumping round, so me and little animals and that. But anyway, so there we have it. Gold to amber pour, nice frothy whitehead, pretty much a typical lager aroma, malty light malt aroma. Oh, I've got to say that ice cube have done the trick. That's nice. In fact, I'm going to take a bottle of that lager in the ass and have some of that lager with ice cubes in, just to, even if I make it into shandies. So it says here, we produce KALNAPILIS Grand step by step, patiently and thoroughly from clear water, select hops and the highest quality barley. And we wait. We know how to wait. Well, yeah, okay. Thus, by slowly aging the beer, we get a grand, mature flavour. A flavour we are proud of. That is why we are calling this beer KALNAPILIS Grand. Strength-wise, it is 5.4%. It's not a bad strength, to be fair. And I think it's going to be one of them nights where I'm having shandies. It's going to be loads of lemonade, ice cubes, lager, half lemonade, and just drink after drink. I'm not going to get drunk, I'm just going to get flipping hydrated. Oh, that's actually quite nice. That's neckable, that is. And here's the thing, so it's a Lithuanian beer then, it's saying here. Beers of Europe.co.uk, it's saying it's a Lithuanian beer, so that's interesting. There's some Polish beer shops around Nottingham, and this is where my mate went in and got it. Yeah, KALNAPILIS. So lager pills, premium lager. Producer is KALNAPILIS Royal Unibrew. And then it says that aging thing. Well, yeah, to try beers that you don't get them in the big shops, and you know, it's nice. It's different, and I bet ice cold it really has got some fire in its belly, you know. I mean, even now with them ice cubes, I put 5 ice cubes in. Don't care about a bit of water. Went down wrong hole. Oh. And like I say, with any beer, there's a perfect temperature for drinking everything. On a blazing hot day like this, cold cider, a cold lager, golden ales, pale ales, you know, they are king. WKDs, hooch, white wines, rosé wines, cold of course. On a red hot day like this, they are king, and they get very drunk very quickly as well. That is really nice. So I've got a week left in the job I'm in. Thoroughly enjoying the last week. Actually, funnily enough, I've been getting stronger for days now. There's a realisation that it's it's funny how your brain works and how anxiety and all that work. And I'm still anxious when I wake up in the mornings. Still a little anxious now, to be fair, but the strength is coming back, and the real Raggy is starting to return. That Raggy that is, you know, I used to have a nickname called Bolshy Blue years ago. Then just because, you know, I could be a Bolshy fucker when I wanted to be, and I'm certainly getting that strength. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago, but getting better, and it's better for my family because they see somebody who is more like me, somebody who is wisecracking, has a laugh, is not sitting there getting way too fucking drunk. And I think certain sides of what I do will disappear. I think probably the homebrew side will drop to zilch over the next few months. But I may do a couple of red wine kits for the winter, because obviously we want that glass of red wine at Christmas. But when it comes to doing fruit juice wines and that, no, I'll knock all that on the head for the foreseeable future. I've got plenty of normal stock to review anyway. But as I get stronger, the alcohol content I should, apart from when I'm not working the next day and I want to have a few bevies, and my wife won't mind so much then. It's drinking in the week when you've got work the next day, which is not a good thing, and overindulging. It's like tonight, if I'm being brutally honest, this is the 3rd review tonight. I did a 4% cider, then I did a 4% alco pop, and now this 5.4% lager. And that's totally honest, nothing else. And, you know, all of us, I suppose, in some ways, need to, you know, if you know that you're drinking too much, I know I'm drinking too much. and you need to put a lid on it. And the best person to do that is to be honest with yourself. I'm not honest with myself, and but obviously if you've had a really bad day, you come home and you know, you hit the beer. I mean, even today for my new job, I've just done 12 trays of seedlings. I've got at the moment over 30 trays of seedlings ready for this job. Good couple of thousand plants, and as soon as I get in, start planting up, and then once everything grows, I start adding, and then, you know, like with all gardens, you start off sporadic planting, and then you fill in, you bulk up. The best survives, the weak stuff probably doesn't, and you know, you add colour, you wet whites, yellows, reds, blues, and you create a wall of colour, and that is where I'm going for. And if these people have got the same vision as me, and they seem to have, I'm not being told a pack of lies for someone to get me into the role this time, because this time last year I started at the Nottingham Park estate, and I was told some little porkies to get me to be the gardener there, and had I known that what the role really comprised, it would have been a very much harder decision. You know, I left my other job nearly in tears to go there, and then to realise within a short space of time that this was probably not the right role. And I mean, on day one, the manager, and when I got there, he quit as a manager, and it's like, something's not right here. And the alarm bell should have rang from that very moment. Had I known. But you think you're doing the right thing, and sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side. I've learned that this year, and what I've also learned is that the best job isn't the job that's closest to home. I've now got a job where I'm at 2 independent sites, one 10 minutes away, one 40 minutes, probably about 40 minutes away. So the 40-minute journeys either side of the workday is going to be a bit of a swine. Got to admit, not overly infused with that. It makes a 10-hour day, basically. But if I'm happy, if I can prove to the people that are the bosses that I can control one site on 2 days and the closer site, which is the bigger site, on 3 days, then they might listen to me. You know, I'll turn around to them and say, look, I can do 2 days a week there, and on the bigger site, 3 days a week there, to bring both sites in together and eventually get both sites in and under my control. And that, as a gardener, you know, is something that I really positively want to do. And, you know, positivity. Oh, it's great, because if you love your job you're in, you know, life is better. You know, you go to work, you do your job, and you're happy. You go home, you're happy. You know, your kids know it, your wife knows it, and then you go back to being, in my opinion, for me at least, the better person that I am. And I'm not a bad person, never have been, but certainly this year I've been weaker than I would normally be. You know, the sort of person, when someone's been an arsehole to me, I'll tell them they've been an arsehole. I'll say, hey, you don't fucking talk to me like that, you know. And if you do it again, 1, I'm going to fucking report you, and 2, I might even knock you out. And that's the sort of person I was years and years ago. You know, I used to walk around the Arboretum, and they were the days when you walked around, you didn't really have a proper uniform. So I walked around in a fluorescent yellow t-shirt doing the work. I had people come up to me and say, "You're on community service?" And I said, "No, I'm not on community service." Because obviously I had a skinhead and I looked a bit of a bugger at the time. And it's good having short hair again. It's funny how with longer, unkempt hair, our people look at you in a certain way. When I've got short hair, they look at you in a very different way. It's amazing how hair, you know, I mean, they don't know who I am, you know, and you should never ever judge someone by looks anyway, because you don't know, you know. I was on the park one day, on the Arboretum, and we used to tell people off for footballing, say, "Look, play footballing, no football on here, mate." And I went up to these group of lads and I says, "Look, no football on here." And this bloke says, "Ah, fuck off." And I'm thinking, and I looked at his scars on his face and I thought, okay, I think I might retreat from this situation, because this bloke's obviously been in fights. He's got scars all over his face. So, and there was one day, so I'm on the park and there are these two big blokes, well over 6'6", and one come up to me and says, "Can I have a drink of that water?" So I'm watering the dahlias at the time. He says, "Pump from the lake, mate." It won't, but I just told him that. He said, "I don't give a shit." Drinks the water, and there were some black blokes on the other side, some nice people, a couple of rastas and that, and I knew them for years. And this white bloke and his mate shouted over, "Oh, you're black!" And you can imagine what sort of word came out. And I'm looking at the black blokes and I thought, oh dear, here we go. This ain't going to end well. And all the black blokes sat there and didn't do anything. And I thought to myself, okay. Now normally there's four of them, there's two of these idiots. These two were white blokes, you know. And this isn't some Black Lives Matter posts, don't be misled in there. About 20 years ago. And I thought, okay, let me get out of this situation, because if it kicks off, I don't want to be anywhere near it. Nothing kicked off. And this bloke, I thought, there's something not right with this bloke. Anyway, a few weeks later, he'd... now, I might not get the story 100% right. I've got one workmate who watches this. His memory's a lot better than mine. But anyway, it transpired that he lived in St Anne's, where I was born, basically, in Nottingham. Lived in a rough area, and basically he'd killed someone. And they got sent down a bit later. But apparently got arrested by the police, and the van they put him in, he battered the van. And so he was a total nutcase. So, and you know, people know. You know, if you're that big a twat, you're going to start shouting over. I mean, these rastas were big blokes themselves, and you're going to start shouting over. And they obviously either knew of him or heard of him, and they didn't say anything. And that to me was strange. That's why I thought, oh, not a good situation. So I bottled it and got out of there. I thought, I'm not getting involved in this, you know. And we have many situations over the years on the Arboretum with some things, and you look and you think, I mean, I've chased flashers. I've chased a bloke who threatened a woman with a screwdriver. I could have gone and given him a right good hard in the right little scrote. Me and one of my roommates chased a bloke with a gun in the bushes. God knows what we were thinking of. Probably thought we were hard at the time. And it's funny, that realisation in life, that as hard as you think you are, and as hard as you may think you are, that there's always somebody who's harder, and two, who'll flick a knife out or a gun out and pop you anyway. So, really, are you really that hard? And there's a lot of people that are. You know, you get these big lads. It's like, I was in Morrison's the other day. At the start of lockdown. And there's this big youth, massive bodybuilder type youth. And he's talking to his mate and he's going, "Yeah, I ain't got no virus. I'm not weak." And I'm thinking, dickhead. And just, you know, you walk off, you think, what a twat. You know. So, because you're a bodybuilder, because you're a big lad, it won't get you. It may not, but you don't know that. You may have a certain a stem cell in your body that's susceptible to coronavirus and kill you, no matter how big you are. You know, humans at times are really thick. Unless you're a scientist and you know this shit, then, you know, as a normal human being who's not a scientist or, you know, whatever, then you really should, you know, in my opinion, shut up, because you don't know. And this bloke, in that day of Morrison's, me and my wife just looked at each other and laughed and thought, you know, another month. But, so it's still nearly 30 degrees in there. I'm sweating my ball bags off, but I'm enjoying this. It's been nice. It needed the, obviously because it's at room temperature, it needed the ice cubes. And I've got to say, it's gone down a treat. So a Lithuanian beer, according to these people. So my lad went to Latvia and Lithuania with his mates. I'll have to ask him if he's had any KALNAPILIS. Yeah. So, pretty much a standard lager, really, like a good premium lager. But it's got a good taste to it. It's gone down well. If you see it in one of these world lager shops, a lot of Polish lager shops sell a lot of world beer these days. Beers that you don't get in this country. And they're well worth a try. You know, one of these days I might have to go in with 50 quid and just buy a load of beers, a load of lagers I've never heard of before. I hope I get them cheap. Obviously, if the Polish shops, they should be cheap. You'd think anyway. But yeah, very interesting. Very. Yeah, I'm pleased about that. I'm pleased I've tried it. Thanks to my mate Keith for giving it me. I gave him a load of beers from one of my winnings, and for him to try. I've still got some of them to review actually. Boxstein Brewery, I gave him a load of them, and I've kept all the review ones that I needed, but I gave him 4 beers. So and he gave me two European sort of beers. Oh. So, thoroughly enjoyable. I say good lager. And from Lithuania as well. Nice standard lager malt nose. Good lager taste throughout. Nice and smooth. I think it went down a treat. A 1 pint can as well. I thought there was a bit more in than usual. For me, yeah, I really enjoyed that. It does help though that it's baking hot outside and inside, and 2 that I put some, because I didn't chill it. Yes, we should all chill beers, lagers. We should know that, but sometimes it can't be done, especially if your wife takes over the fridge. I've got an American fridge and it's massive, and she does cakes, so I can't get lagers in the fridge and ciders where they should be. So, but a couple of ice cubes made that. Out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. That was a really nice lager. Hit the spot. And, you know, totally out of the blue something. And it's lovely to try beers from all over the world. Lager beers, that is. And, yeah, really nice. Ooh. And now I'm going in for a cold shower and to chill out, because it's been a long bloody day outside. My last week at this place, and I've been helping me workmate all week. He's a sweeper driver where I am, and the poor sod. And I don't know if you watch it. He does watch the odd review. I know he does. His name's Pepe. But I call him Pepe. His actual name's Joseph. We call him Mario for obvious reasons. He's Italian, so you know. Yeah, the Mario. But yeah, he's a good lad. Good lad. But anyway, yeah, he's been using a sweeper for the last 8 months. Fucking sweeper they don't pick up. So you can imagine, he's in driving this sweeper, doing the path, so it's not picking shit up. It's got no suction on it, and he's having to handball it in, and you do feel sorry for him, you know. It's like using the mower with no blade. I mean, one of my trainees that I had when I was at Streetwise, I said to him, go and mow that lawn, I'll get on with this lot, I'll get on with getting this sorted out. So I'm doing the gardening side, because let's be fair, anybody can mow a lawn. So, you know, before we go into any details about gardening, so I'm doing all the pretty stuff, he's doing the garden. He says, I've mowed that lawn, but it don't seem to have cut the grass. I thought, he says, did you put the blade on? He says, huh? He says, did you engage the blades? What do you mean? And he'd gone, and he'd mowed the lawn and not even put the fucking blades on. So I said, you're going to have to do it all again. But you know, if you knew, and so he did it, and it was great afterwards, but it was funny. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, now he's got a sweeper that's working, and for the last, well, basically it's last week, knowing that I'm going anyway, so I don't give a you know, bejesus anymore, especially because they've been wrong with me over paying for fucking PPE, which is illegal. But I'm helping him get all the streets sorted out, so at least by the time I've finished, by the time I've left the place, we're on an even keel. You know, he's doing the streets. I'm doing all the worst streets with him, so that whenever he's doing his sweeping, he's got it as cushy as he can get it, you know. And it's good for me. He's a good bloke, and you know, a lot of people can use blowers. And the thing is, we had these young lads on last year, both know-it-alls. Both said, oh, you know, we know how to blow. And they'd blow the streets, and then they'd sit at the end of the street doing bugger all. So the bloke on the sweeper, he's sweeping along, and he's struggling because there's twigs that they've not picked up, and twigs don't go up blowers, up sweepers. They clog the sweeper. So that makes the whole job slower. So as I'm going along, I'm picking out all the twigs, making it easy for him. And I'm going back and I'm helping him get the blowing done. I'm not sitting around waiting for him. It's not the person I am anyway. And I'm helping him get the job done, because it makes his job look good, and it makes both of us look good, because the streets, where we've done, the streets look amazing, you know. And it makes it easy for him. And if in my last week or so being there, it makes his job easier, I can leave with my head held high, knowing that I've helped a great bloke, you know, with his job. That's if he stays there, because obviously the treating us all that shit. So, and anyway, that's it for this lager review. Great lager, and I'm going in now for a good sit down, a good shower, because I need it. I'm sweating like a bastard, and yeah, and have a good chill. Go and talk to the wife, and eat a bit of cold cheap KFC. Oof, ain't life great, eh? And yeah, starting to get the old raggy back. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel him coming back in. It's like, where you been, you cunt? Yeah, I ain't seen you for the last year. I seen flickerings of you at the start of the lockdown when you was all happy. But for the best part of a year, you've been a miserable get. And that raggy's starting to come back. And over the weeks and months moving forward, you're going to see a much, well, hopefully, because you never quite know, do you? But you're going to see a much better me. And it just goes to show you, we all go through bumps in life. And those people that do, you know, that are in a very dark place, and I've been there just recently, you know, there is a way out of it. Always remember that. Don't ever think that you've got to do the wrong thing. And that's it for this beer review. Thanks for watching. A very long beer review again. I have rattled on this time. And see you soon. Cheers.